We're in Loch Lomond to test a very interesting new concept from Bavaria. It's perfectly suited to this type of cruising. It's full displacement, twin cabin, single engine, does about 10 to 12 knots. It's called the E40. Let's get on board and have a closer look. The E40's unique deck layout starts here at the stern. We have a raised cockpit to make room for either a single double cabin aft or two doubles like we have on this boat that share a bathroom. These windows slide right across, as you can see, and this door opens out to the side like this, so that the cockpit and saloon all mould together to make one nice big living space, though there are steps to negotiate here that you have to watch out for. Let's take a bit of a closer look at the saloon. Now this is another novel feature on the E40, this sailing boat-esque single helm all the way back here with the entire saloon and the bow stretching right out in front of you. It does feel a little peculiar when you first sit down, but when you get out onto the water you realise what a brilliantly sociable way this is to have the helm. You have everybody either sat next to you, around you, in front of you, so even if you're driving the boat you're still very much part of the action. And there's so much glass in here, in the roof either side, single piece windscreen, opening glass here, that you've got a fantastic view from this spot, which you really need to have to be this far back on the boat. When it comes to driving, this boat has a single D3 150, does about 10 knots, really well suited to this sort of inland cruising. It's a very easy, comfortable boat to drive, though if I had it offshore I'd probably want the optional Volvo D4 300 that's capable of about 15 knots. The other thing to mention is that D3 engine is quite a chattery unit. It is quite noisy in here. I think the D4 would probably help that. Of course, the engine is directly below you on the helm, so Bavaria has their work cut out to keep it quiet, though they are going to add a seal to the door and more insulation on the door itself to keep the sound at bay. So then when you move forward through this lovely, bright, sociable and very practical saloon, you come down to your forward accommodation. Now this is fixed, you can't change anything in this layout, but it's a good layout so that doesn't really matter. You've got a double bed in the bows, hanging lockers either side, and then either side of me you have a dedicated shower room and a separate bathroom, which is a nice touch because it means that somebody can have a shower, someone else can still use the loo at the same time. Works really well. A couple of things to mention down here as well. Quite high sills on the door frames here, really worth watching out for because they are a little bit of a trip hazard. But the other really good thing that you have down here is under the steps they lift up on gas rams, and there is a huge dry storage void underneath the saloon here. You could store all sorts of big bulky items in there, and as I said, it's perfectly dry, really useful for luggage and things like that. Very handy asset on longer cruises. So you make your way down beneath the helm to the aft accommodation here. Now, as I said, this boat has two cabins down here. It's a really good charter layout and it's been very popular for that reason. For me, I'd want the full width aft cabin though with a nice big double bed in it. But this works if you want to sleep more people, of course. You have a bathroom here as well, and this is access to the engine. It's very easy. It's quite weird. It's just like a normal interior door, but then you have your engine in there, and as I said, this is where they're going to add a little more insulation to help and keep it quiet. This is a brave new world for Bavaria, but I think it's a sensible move. People are looking for single engine boats to slow down a bit, maybe to save a bit of fuel. This is perfect, and of course you have the flexibility of that aft cabin layout. I'm really looking forward to seeing the flybridge version of this boat as well, especially with the 300 horsepower engine. I think both of those things will open it up to a new dimension. A brave decision to make this type of boat for Bavaria, and I think it'll be interesting to see how it pays off.